Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm David Knight. It's Thursday, March 6th, 2014, and here are our top stories.
Tonight, the Obama administration authorizes sanctions on Russia. Then, teachers refuse to be human targets for active shooter drills. And a Second Amendment advocate is warned that police want him dead. That's next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
You know you're losers that serve the system. You know you're scum. You know you're pathetic. And you know we don't want to associate with you.
You may remember just a couple of days ago, Obama tweeted out a picture of himself wearing jeans and talking tough on the phone to Putin, so we're told. Well, you know, his phone and his pen may not carry much weight with Putin, but he's still using them against Americans. This story from Paul Joseph Watson: Obama bans critics of the Ukraine coup from entering the United States. An executive order suspends entry rights of anyone who undermines Ukrainian democracy. Hey, how about people who undermine American democracy like Obama? Could we get an executive order against that? Here's what it says. The executive order suspends entry in the United States as immigrants or non-immigrants of persons, and he lists three things there, as if he's got the right to bar people for political speech. As CNS's news, Craig Bannister notes, this would effectively ban entry for anyone deemed to be a Russian sympathizer or anyone who's expressed a view similar to Moscow, which was that the violent Kiev uprising was a coup d'etat and not a democratic uprising. So why are we concerned about people having political dissent about what's going on in another country like the Ukraine? Is it because what's going on in the Ukraine is being orchestrated by Obama and his administration and is a direct reflection on them? We see that's happening with the State Department. Now, this is what Ted Cruz had to say at CPAC about Obama's pen and phone.
Now, I do have to start with a bit of bad news this morning. I'm sorry to tell you that by virtue of your being here today, tomorrow morning each and every one of you is going to be audited by the IRS. How many of y'all have your cell phones? I'm going to ask you to please leave them on. I want to make sure President Obama hears everything I have to say this morning. We need to abolish the IRS.
That's right. It's not about how he uses his phone, but how he's using your phone, isn't it? And we also see how he's using the IRS to punish political enemies. Just arbitrarily banning people who have something to say about what's going on in a third country, using the IRS against his political enemies. I remember 20 years ago, we were talking about this, and the Libertarian Party and other third parties were talking about abolishing the IRS. Why? Because they historically have been used against political enemies. It's just that Obama's taking it to an all-new level. He's doing it openly, unashamedly, and he's not being held accountable by anyone for doing it. It's always been about controlling you in one way or the other, whether they're going to control you by attacking you with audits or whether they're going to control your behavior by offering you carrots and sticks to buy and sell, do certain things. It's wrong. But at least people are talking about it. We'll know that they're serious about it when they no longer laugh about these abuses. You know, it was offered as a joke and people are laughing there at CPAC. They need to start getting angry. That's when change will come. Now, one of the things that he said was, if you have a president who's picking and choosing which laws to follow and which laws to ignore, you no longer have a president, said Cruz. That's right, you have a dictator.
Many anthropologists and archaeologists believe that before man even discovered the power to harness and use fire, we were involved in agrarian activities. That is, taking the seeds of plants and then replanting them to produce more. The very foundation of our modern civilization and human culture is centered around the planting and cultivation of edible plants.
Here are some of the amazing deals at InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
The Survival Seed Vault by My Patriot Supply features only the finest survival heirloom seeds for a robust and hardy garden, even in the toughest times. We also have starter varieties of the deluxe seed packages for fruit, salad, salsa, peppers, medical herbs, and more.
Go to the InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
And remember, the revolution against tyranny is growing.